Hi, John. Good afternoon. How are you today?
Hi, Piotr. Yeah, great. Thank you. Yeah, good to be here. Good to see you.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for joining the call, and thank you for agreeing to have that interview. I'm recording interviews with my fellow colleagues, coaches from the program, coaching career school program that we did together last year, starting in September 2022, going into 2023. And I'm meeting with colleagues and I'm asking them to share one insight that they had from the school. But before we go there, why don't you introduce yourself to our audience?
Sure. Okay. I'm John Dashfield, and I live in southeast England in a little village called Hawkhurst, which is about 12 miles inland from the south coast. Uh, Professionally, I'm a transformative coach, which I've done for quite a long time now. I first started coaching people in 2004. I had another business then in financial services, and I sold that uh, a couple of years later. And then coaching became my full-time profession. Um, and most of the time, it doesn't feel like work to me. It feels like fun.
Oh, great, great. So was coaching like your dream come true?
Well, from my early 20s, I took a keen interest in practical psychology and personal development. And I hired coaches for myself and did programs and read lots of books. And so it was an evolution really of that, thinking that, well, actually, this stuff seems easy to me. I'm drawn to it. I find it interesting. I find it fun. Uh, I very rarely get tired of it, and that hasn't changed.
Hmm.
So I'm very fortunate. I really honestly consider myself very fortunate and privileged to be doing something that I really enjoy, and really to have the kind of business relationships that I do. I never take it for granted.
Hmm. Oh, beautiful, beautiful. And I can see behind you on the shelf your book, the cover of your book, because you are also a writer, and I have your book here as well. Yeah. Okay. John, so we did the program together with Ankush, and we had coaches like myself quite early in the career, coaching career. And we had a group of coaches, very seasoned coaches, experienced coaches like yourself. And I really wonder what was your key insight from the program, something that you took away for yourself and for your business. What was it?
Yeah, that's a really good question because there was a lot of content, right, to the program. So there's so many things that I could focus in on or choose. I think the standout thing for me, I'd call it really being in the game
Mhm.
a lot more consistently. So being in the game meaning that it's very easy to go unconscious about what you're doing, particularly in the process of creating clients and growing a business. And historically, that was me. So I would go through periods of being busy and having a lot of work, and then it would tail off. And then I'd panic because I could see, the money's gone down, and that's like a feast and famine cycle, if you like, And I
Mhm.
think a lot of business people go through that, and me included. And I think one of the things that's happened since the program is I've really seen that. I've seen that to thrive and to be consistent with what you're doing, it's really about bringing more consciousness to it. so that you don't go unconscious. Unconscious. It's really easy to do. You can tell yourself stories that, oh, I've got this to do, or I've got that to do, and there's always stuff to do. I could work 24/7 if I wanted to, and yet there are certain core activities in your business that, if you neglect them, then you're going to pay a price for that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's so easy to go unconscious because you don't suffer the consequences for months. So you could say, go a month where you haven't spoken to that many people, or you're not connecting with people, and it doesn't hurt you then.
Mm-hmm.
It hurts you in 3 months, in 6 months, or so. By being more conscious around that, and that being more conscious, it means a whole ton of things to me. It means, for instance, being creative, because when we're more conscious, our mind is clear, our mind is present, we're more open to insight. So insight being maybe just ideas, people to talk to, people to connect with. So being more open to insight, that creates more of a flow to life. That's how it feels to me, rather than trying to create from a place where let's say your state of mind is imbued with fear or insecurity or some tension or anxiousness. That tends to close us down.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The way I hear it, John, is that you being more conscious. What the way I'm hearing is like you being more consistent as well. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And I think it in a way, something that also has been an insight around this is, although you're building your practice and creating clients, you're not attached to the outcome.
Mm-hmm.
That seems really important to me.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I don't want to reach out to people or have conversations with people when I've got my own perceived needs in my mind. That doesn't seem helpful,
Mm-hmm.
because one of the things that humans are very adept at is sensing threat or danger.
Mm-hmm.
So if someone has got their own agenda, let's say, or a hidden agenda, at some level we'll always detect that. So we don't want to go out into the world in that kind of way. So
Mm-hmm.
we want to go out into the world coming from a place of service and what we can do for people,
Mm-hmm.
and how we can
Mm-hmm.
help them, and how we can make a meaningful contribution
Yeah.
to them. And I
Mm-hmm.
find by doing that, then business will tend to take care of itself.
Yeah.
So rather than focusing on an end goal, which we have very little control over, it seems far more useful to be conscious of your activity
Mm-hmm.
in the moment, so that you're aware of who you're connecting with, and how many people you're connecting with, and the quality of those connections, and working at that,
Mm-hmm.
um, and devoting time
Mm-hmm.
every day to that.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Being aware when you don't. And what's interesting to me is I can still feel resistance sometimes to that, Piotr. I can
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I can feel it in myself. There's resistance, and it's when that resistance comes up that if you don't understand it, it's very easy to take that feeling of resistance in you, which is fear, as a signal to stop. Right.
Yeah.
And so one of the things that I've learned is that actually that feeling of resistance is the complete opposite of meaning you need to stop. It's actually what it means is you need to continue and stay in the game. Because actually, if it really was time to stop, or you needed to stop for any reason, that would come from your clarity, not your fear.
Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah. I notice for myself when I feel that resistance that I can talk myself out of doing something. Yeah. And not really being conscious and aware, why I'm doing that. So yeah, so I can relate. What I also heard is that it's not as much, or it's not about us, like me as a coach. It's because if I go there and it's about me and what I want to get as an outcome, I'm not as present, and I'm not taking a strong stand for the possibility for the client. So it's not about me. It should be about me taking stand for the client and the possibility for them. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And as soon as we let's say imbue the situation or our state of mind with our own gain, it's just not helpful. It contaminates the environment and the connection environment that you have with people. And when we're out truly serving other people, we don't need to be afraid of things like rejection, for instance, or someone saying no, or because it isn't personal.
Yeah, I get it. I think it's really beautiful. I completely get it. And I can, I can relate from my own experience. Yeah, that and I really like you when you say, you reminded me about the connection. The connection was a big theme in the school, and I very much like what you said about, like, if we come with some agenda, people can sense it, and when they sense it, it can stand in the way of us providing full service, and because they show up in a certain way, therefore as well, they may be not as coachable, or maybe not as open to what we want to say. So yeah, it is impacting them as well, and they can sense it. No, I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah. So that was that's really probably right now that what seems to be my biggest takeaway from it, that that if you want to improve something in your life, bring more awareness to it.
Yeah. Wow, that's a nice ending. Yeah, bring more awareness if you want to change something in your life. Yeah, I love it. Thank you so much, John. It was really a joy to see you today and to have that conversation. And good luck with running your practice and being aware. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much.